Today we're checking out some brand new KETUO / Reich knives for the first time. Starting it off, we have the new VENTR. The VENTR is pretty interesting because it uses a liner lock with a button attached to it. So you can basically get, or the reason why this would be cool is because you basically get the ability to use a regular detent just like you would expect on any liner or frame lock. So it's going to be a nice consistent breaking detent. And then also the lock face geometry is going to be like you'd expect from a liner. So a little bit more consistent as far as the company's ability to make sure it's consistent. Not that there aren't some companies that do a really good job with button locks, because there's some that do a really good job with their detent and there's some that do a really good job with the lock face geometry. But liner locks have been around for quite a bit longer, so they're a little bit easier for companies to get down and get good. Rock solid lockup, which I do appreciate. And then, you know, you can unlock it with the liner, or you can just push the button in. And if you look, you can see if I push the liner over, the button goes in. So pretty cool, you know, in the way that's designed, so that you're basically getting a liner lock as far as detent and lockup goes, but the action of a button lock. So that's pretty damn cool. And it'll be a more consistent action from a button lock. The blade is a 14C Spay Point Tonto blade. Good looking blade, nice broad blade, nice and slicey, almost a full flat grind. G10 scales with steel liners. You can see it's got some texturing on the G10. Then we have this big lanyard hole. Now, I don't know what to think about this because it's not big enough for a finger and it's way too big for a lanyard. I'm guessing it's just for aesthetics. Not a big deal. It does kind of look cool, and the round shaped butt end does feel good in the hand. So after the video, I found out, or figured out, that I could remove the big circle thing at the end. So if you don't like that and that's a deal breaker for you, well, you don't have to have it. I think it does make it a little bit more ergonomic though, because it kind of rounds this butt end. So that's probably the purpose behind it. But I mean, it still feels very comfortable like this. You know, I would have no issues, you know, holding it and using it long term like this. But I just wanted to show you guys that, because throughout the video, I do, you know, mention how I'm not sure what that's for, you know, and because of its awkward size and so on. So just so you know, you can remove it. All in all, the handle feels amazing in the hand, because this is like, in my opinion, this is like just perfectly set up for cutting. I love how it cants up and then back down. It's literally like set up for your grip, like for it to just like go right into the cutting path. Even the tip, like if you're gonna do utility cuts, pinch grips, anything like that. This blade shape and ergonomics and blade to handle complementing each other works really, really well. So this is gonna be something that's going to work to your benefit in a lot of ways when using it as a knife. Now, as far as nitpicks and negatives go, you know, it's only a $50 knife, so this is a budget knife. You know, I know some people would say that's an expensive knife, but in the knife world, that's not expensive. That's a budget knife. So, you know, I don't want to nitpick too much because this thing's really cool, and I do like it a lot. The stop pin does land underneath the edge, which I normally prefer not to, because I prefer to be able to cut in my own choils. In this case, you're not going to be able to. You're going to have to sharpen up to the plunge grind and up the blade. Is it that big of a deal? No, and I think on an application like this, it's just fine. But, you know, it's just personal preference there. While I'm happy this thing is removable, which, you know, I'll probably put it back on because I think I do like it more with it on, to be honest. But regardless, I'm happy it does come off. But they use T6s all the way around, even on the pivot. Now, I prefer T8s for something like that, especially, you know, if it's a knife you want to be able to, you know, take apart, you know, over long periods of time. The hardware feels good. It doesn't feel like bad hardware or anything. It wasn't red Loctited, so no problems with the hardware. I just prefer T8s. Also, it uses very tiny bearings in the pivot. Now, that's not that big of a deal. It's still very, very smooth, but the bigger the bearings are in the pivot, the more pivot stability you will have. It is solid, don't get me wrong. I don't feel any flex or any side to side, but you know, it does add to some toughness and some strength with larger bearings. So they used a little bit smaller ones with this. Like I said, I don't think that's going to affect much, but you know, I'm just calling it. Why does it not have a clip? It needs a clip. Damn it, I want it to have a clip so bad. But it does not have a clip, so we're clipless. That's my biggest negative. All in all, this is a really cool little knife. I personally like this quite a bit. Very ergonomic, very useful blade shape, very fidgety, but damn it, I wish it had a clip. Anyways, there you guys go. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.